Hello there, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it, presuming you watched part 1 of this video, and this is now part 2. I'm Pete Howard, and this is PosterCentral.com's video blog, and obviously since we're going to look at the nitty-gritty of the poster and the venue info, I came in for a closer look, whereas the first video, part 1, I was quite a ways back from the camera so you could see this whole beauty. But we've already taken a look at that now, so, and in part 1 I went through, the amazing musical talent, the cultural heritage and importance of this poster, and the fact that the musicians on here made 68 top 10 pop hits, just crazy. But now a little bit more about the poster itself, if you will. Well, it is made of cardboard, as Globe would do back then, and normally their jumbos were 22 inches wide by 28 inches tall. They were called jumbos. Well, this thing is 22 inches wide and a whopping 35 inches tall. That makes it 7 inches taller than a normal Globe jumbo, which just, adds more and more and more to its appeal. It's just really owns a wall when you put it in a frame and have it up on your wall. So just a beauty. Now this was a tour blank, as I've mentioned many times before in my video blogs, from the fall of 1963 for the second Motortown Revue. The first one came in 1962, and I've never seen a poster. I don't think any of us collectors have seen a poster from the first Motortown Revue, so wouldn't that be nice if this very video discovered one? Be sure and please let me know if you even know of the existence of one from '62. But anyway, the venue information up there on the top in the white blank part when it was first printed, all the color was printed first, and the top white was left blank. That was printed in and would change obviously from show to show with all the information changing as well. So here we have a Memphis, Tennessee concert poster, one of America's most famous music cities. And it doesn't say Memphis. That's right. Notice, no Memphis on there. Why, you ask? Well, of course, if you just think about it, this poster was printed and posted up around the city of Memphis. So it would be totally redundant and use up valuable marketing space to put Memphis, Tennessee or something on there. Now, granted, a lot of posters do put that in there, but there was just, there's just no need. Ellis Auditorium, where it took place, was a very famous auditorium. Elvis Presley had played there in 1955. In fact, I video blogged that very poster. It's up now, from Ellis Auditorium in Memphis. I mean, anybody in the area knew what Ellis Auditorium was, so why bother putting Memphis? What you do have at the top, though, is so cool. Look at that, Halloween Blast. How do you like that? How's that for adding some panache to an already stunning, unbelievable concert poster? Oh my gosh, just love that. And then as you can see, it says Thursday, October 31st, 2 shows, 7 and 9:30 p.m. And then we move it over a little bit, and it does say, as you can see, South Hall of Ellis Auditorium. Advance admission $2, and at the door $2.50. And then you've got your tickets on sale locations, 2 lines worth, which is sometimes the most fun part about the localization of these tour blanks. And you've got here Poplar Tunes on Poplar Avenue, Pop Tunes on Summer Avenue, Home of the Blues on Beale Street. Ouch! Wonderful, great place to see on a poster like this. And Satellite Record Shops with 3 locations. Interestingly, Satellite is misspelled with 2 T's instead of 2 L's. It's always a tricky word to spell with that double L, and sure enough, a fastball was thrown by the typesetter there and he put in 2 T's. The 3 locations are on McLemore, Carnes, and Florida Streets. So, that information up there is in very typical, blue block printing done by Globe headquarters back in Baltimore, and was consistent pretty much from city to city with rare exceptions. Sometimes it was in a different color, and sometimes it was printed a different way. And speaking of which, as promised, I've got pictures to show you of a couple of other posters from this, using this exact tour blank. Here we've got from 2 days earlier, as you can see on October 29, Tuesday, October 29, Chattanooga, same state, Tennessee, but Chattanooga. And you've got a couple of differences. It's fun to see what those differences are. You've got only 1 show, not 2. You've got only 1 ticket price, the $2. And you've got 0 ticket locations given, interestingly enough. Now you have to remember that, the big part, the color part, was done nationally by the, promoter in Motown in Detroit and all that stuff. But this venue information up top, this was very much the local promoter making his decisions, or her decisions, as the best way to sell tickets. and sometimes they felt one thing was more important than another, and who needs to give ticket locations everybody knows, or who needs to mention there's an at-the-door price when we can sell a bunch in advance, you know, who knows. And then, this again, Memphis being Halloween night, 5 days after Memphis, you've got there, yep, there you have it, Tuesday, November 5, in Toledo, Ohio, the same poster. Interestingly, this one has one show also, but 2 ticket prices, and ticket locations are given on this, using up just one line. Now, what's so interesting is that these 3 posters, the one in person and the 2 pictures, only take up 1 week of the calendar year of the fall of 1963, just 1 week, a Tuesday to a Tuesday. It sort of makes you wonder, well, how long was the tour? But certainly the tour went on for several weeks, maybe a month and a half or something, as these things did, and certainly went to Detroit, and I'm sure Chicago and the West Coast and so forth. However, Globe Posters, based in Baltimore, tended to do these big, giant, beautiful, day-glow, gorgeous, tour blank posters only for the southeast part of the United States. Now granted, one of those I showed you is from Toledo, Ohio. That's more like the Midwest. And a couple years later for the Rolling Stones with their big, beautiful day-glow Globe Posters tour blank, there's actually one of those from New Haven, Connecticut, way up in New England. So maybe Globe offered these posters to every stop on the tour, but in this case, so far from what we've seen, only the Southeast took advantage of them. And please, if you know of any others from any other city besides those 3, please let me know, because I'd really like to fill in that information. So thanks for coming into part 2. Hope you saw part 1 as well. It deserved 2 parts. It's such a masterwork, such a gorgeous poster. As I said in part 1, one of the greatest, not just soul, R&B, pop, one of the greatest concert posters ever made. Most of us collectors agree. It's a general consensus. It's an absolute gorgeous beauty. So hope you enjoyed seeing it in 2 parts and all the detail. And thanks a lot for dropping by. We'll see you next time for something soon.